A decade after the controversial NAPLAN testing began, Australian students' grammar and punctuation is worse off.
A reliance on technology is being blamed for falling NAPLAN results. Released today, the outcome of the controversial testing model shows students' grammar and punctuation have fallen behind their peers 10 years ago.
Wow, did you guys see the results we just got for NAPLAN in the state? Mostly everybody's doing really poorly, but our school in particular, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty.
The principal was chewing me out just then because we are struggling. We're a full band behind everyone else for the averages on our reading and literacy, reading and writing. So our literacy, I know we've got a lot of students with a foreign language background, like 90%. But how do we address that? Because I need ideas, I need solutions. What can we do to fix our literacy?
Yeah, I think one of the good things that I like to do in my classrooms is introduce kids to the Peel paragraph structure, because it really helps them, identify key words to structure paragraphs, and it helps them in their writing and comprehension of assessment tasks as well. So I think if we do, want to improve our literacy, I think Peel paragraphs is a good way to, build that foundation.
Yeah, I think maybe even if we put a school-wide emphasis on student engagement and development, maybe if we implement some Bloom's taxonomy principles and inquiry-based learning, we could really get that conversation going where you pose questions, you nurture thinking, and you engage in high-level discussion, communication, which can help their literacy.
Yeah, 100%.
But if we're going to do this right, we need to do it as a team. We need teacher development days where we can discuss this and see how we're going to implement this with our students.
Yep.
Whether we use apps, Peel, whatever we're going to be using, we need to discuss this at least a couple of hours every single week.
It's interesting you say apps. I actually heard of a school my friend works at where they're now looking at doing language learning apps. So English from the different languages the students are speaking at home. So I know we've got a lot of Mandarin speakers. We've got a lot of Arabic speakers, Nepalese, Hindi, Punjab. We get apps. Like we could throw all of these ideas together, and let's also grab some apps that are free, work for the students, bring it all together. And that can work in the background as well with everything we're doing in the classroom.
I think that's awesome.
Good set of ideas. I'll tell the principal.
Awesome.
Okay, easy.
Granville South Creative and Performing Arts High School is a low SES school in Sydney's inner west, with 76% of students placing within the state's bottom quartile for socio-educational advantage as determined by the ICSEA. 93% of students at Granville South came from a language background other than English, with the most common languages spoken at home, including Arabic, Nepalese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Hindi, and Punjabi. As a result, English language literacy skills pose a significant burden for students' educational attainment, as shown by NAPLAN testing of reading and writing, wherein the school's average is as much as one full band below state averages in reading and writing, and students in Year 9 lag their counterparts by as many as 2 years statewide. This urgent need for Granville South to improve has been identified in the school's Strategic Improvement Plan for 2021-2024, with literacy forming one of 2 key initiatives alongside student engagement that the school has formally committed itself to improving through a number of means. The school has also outlined 47 distinct languages spoken at home by students in the community, which are contributing to the difficulties in literacy development at that school. The school's plan outlines the requirement focus on several areas such as professional learning, support initiatives, and other frameworks for student success to be developed and deployed consistently within the school.
In alignment with the school's performance plan, our project proposal will utilize language learning apps and resources, target professional developments, provide consistent literacy learning environments, encourage student discussion, and conduct numerous literacy tests to identify areas of improvement, with the primary goal to improve the literacy of all students, especially those who speak English as an additional language. Our project interventions will include multiple types of literacy testing, teacher development, and the extension of existing targeted support networks.
A chart has been created for the project and depicts the milestones along with the timeline for the project. The project will begin in 2022 with the Year 7 cohort after they have completed their NAPLAN testing in order to establish a baseline for future measurement of improvement, and will finish 2025 when the 2023 Year 7 cohort finishes the Year 9 exams. This will enable the project designers to compare literacy improvements made from Year 7 to Year 9. The entire Stage 4 staff will gather for a few days prior to the commencement of the new school year and will be introduced to the project. Teachers will be split into focus groups where they can collaborate as a team to identify strategies for improving student literacy. In the initial phase, Stage 4 staff will meet each day after school for 2 hours for a week and then start creating the project along with their initiatives. Following this, Stage 4 staff development and training will occur for 2 hours each second Wednesday up until the Year 7 NAPLAN tests. Stage 4 staff will be receiving development training to ensure that they are sufficiently trained and confident playing their parts. The Year 7 NAPLAN results signal the start of the project, as students' results will be analysed and used by teachers to gather an indication of current student literacy capabilities. The Year 7 NAPLAN teachers will begin implementing the project initiatives into their pedagogies in the school Stage 4 curriculum. Teachers will meet on the Wednesday of each third week where they will discuss and track student progression. This will continue until the yearly exams. This will take place to ensure that teachers can constantly reflect on their teaching as well as engage in continuous improvement. Stage 4 staff will have a large 4-hour meeting following the completed marking of Year 7 yearly exams. Teachers will use the results as well as the observations of their students' literacy progression to identify if any applicable changes are required to the project in the following year. This process will be reapplied in the following year. However, it will start prior to NAPLAN. This will allow the staff to examine the effectiveness of prior Year 7 NAPLAN testing. The results will be compared to the prior results that didn't receive implementations of the program until after the NAPLAN exams. Project will continue to run until 2025 when 2023 Year 7 cohort finishes their Year 9 yearly exams. Project will conclude by having a large meeting to discuss success of the project, its potential failures and any changes or modifications that may be needed.
Our project will measure improvement by using a mixed method approach, which Rahman and Arini suggest enables a more full and thorough understanding of a research problem than either quantitative or qualitative approaches alone. Regular formative assessments in the form of class quizzes, teacher observations, and discussions will also be utilised to help identify gaps in student literacy. Using the data collected from formative assessments, teachers will then enter any feedback or notice of literacy progression on students' individual online profiles that will be created specifically for this program. Annual half-yearly in-school assessments and Years 7 to 9 NAPLAN data results, which will be analysed by the National Assessment Program's SCALE system, will be used to measure student comprehension of and the ability to solve literacy-related problems. Students' online literacy progression profiles will provide sufficient evidence of students' literacy progression over the course of the project, and data from in-school assessments and NAPLAN results will provide statistical evidence of the development of literacy skills pre and post the implementation of the program. Throughout this process, teacher leaders will monitor teacher involvement in literacy-focused workshops and teaching plans and provide instructional guidance through industry examples of best practice. Teachers will collaborate in regular staff meetings and be asked to fill out program surveys to monitor project progression. Overall efficiency of the program will be assessed based on the program's ability to generate progressive progression rather than solely on goal achievement.
The first step in the cycle of continuous improvement is to identify the areas requiring the most work. Based on the data presented online, it was evident that the main area of concern at Granville South High School was the literacy skills of students. In order to tackle this issue, a strategy of instructional rounds was utilised within the program. The 3 areas of focus are teachers, students, and the content. These 3 areas go hand in hand. If changes are going to be made at Granville South High School, these 3 areas need to be the focus of the program. According to Schmockner 2010, utilising the teaching personnel within a schooling environment is one of the most crucial steps in meeting goals at an educational setting. Therefore, the program recognises the fact that teachers play an important role in the development of student education. Teachers will be treated as active learners as part of the program. In order for teachers to understand their learners, there needs to be communication between the staff to discuss the progress and the appropriate strategies for students who are struggling the most. The program therefore utilises a number of consistent staff development days and meetings on a weekly basis for a couple hours a week. Integrating regular formal and informal diagnostic assessments of students within the classroom is another key aspect in identifying areas of concern. These tests and observations will help teachers identify what areas require the most work, and these will be discussed within the staff meetings. The PIL method, which will be a core part of the program, can be easily incorporated across all KLAs and subject areas. The PIL method gives students a base to work with and also allows them to help a logical and clearly structured explanation. The strategies being taught to students will be assessed through the summative assessments and then analysed to collect the data on areas which require the most improvement. Literacy areas that are found to be lacking will then be the new focus and discussions at the staff meetings. Through the students' continuous improvement as a result of this program, a positive impact on the student-teacher relationship, students' attendance, and the students' overall learning experience is expected to be made.